Good evening, Rusk enjoyers. How are you doing, alright? 'Cause it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Basically, in this video, I'm going to look at all the current skins in the Rust store, make comparisons to previous Rust store skins, to get a good idea in regards to how much will each of these skins sell by next Thursday, and then knowing that, we'll then question, are these skins still holding up to being perfectly fine investments, or are there any potential problems that you need to be aware of? So sit back, relax, and start yapping. Right, so let's get started with the first 24 hours of sales, sort of. I don't know fully when the Rust rotated for Valentines. Yeah, I'm very sorry. Like, I think the skins were accepted early, but the actual rotation happened around 5 o'clock in the evening UK time. Don't fully know, but what I'm going to sit here and say is, based on the time that I posted this, which was a bit later, I'm going to look at the sales today, and I'm just going to deduct 500. So, if that makes sense to you, cool. So, the top-selling skin would be the Rose Petals. Remember, there's a spelling mistake. Rose Petals Rug, with about 7,100 subscribers. Not that much interest then. We could probably, easily sit there and say that. I've already discussed this in the predictions video, and I've already discussed this in the Rust rotation video. We were very surprised with the choices. That's probably the nicest way of putting it. But we're also not surprised if we're probably going to see a second week of Valentines. By default, you should only assume there's going to be 1 week. But don't be surprised if there's 2. So another one next week. We shall see. Anyway. So overall, the sales are considerably less compared to the previous week. That I can definitely say. Oh yes. So there's very likely a lack of interest in these skins. However, a sheer lack of sales could potentially lead to some very nice profits if these skins do work out ever so nicely in the future. So what we'll do now, of course, is figure out how much they're likely going to sell by next Thursday. So out of here, and here we can see, after the first 48 hours of sales, things haven't really changed that much. And I'll just be a little bit honest with you, it's like an hour or two later, so yeah, technically 50 hours, but even then the sales here, yeah, it's not really moving that much. But it doesn't mean they're going to reach next to nothing, but I don't think we'll be seeing anything getting close to 20,000 subscribers. I'm having doubts, is all I'm going to say. Let's put it that way. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead now, go through all these skins based on top-selling skins at the moment, and yeah, we'll see how much they're likely going to sell by next Thursday. Valentine's Blaze Furnace. A very interesting look and design. Feel free to go ahead and look at my Rust rotation to get a better look at this. It glows pink at night when it's lit up. Very nice. The interior is nice and pink. So it's a pretty cool look and design. Very, very unique compared to all the other skins that we have in the game, because nothing is as pink as this. I don't think we've ever had a Valentine's themed furnace. So, okay, that's cool. That's nice. So, alright. Let's now hop back over to here, and as we can see, it is the top-selling skin so far. 48 hours in, 11,000 subscribers. But still, go back to the previous week's 48 hour analysis. See how many sales the top-selling skin had there, because it's quite considerably more compared to that. Let me put it that way. Right, anyway, so let's go over to here and, do some math. So this was actually selling just a little bit less compared to this, but now, of course, it's obviously eclipsed it. But anyway, let's look at this and consider it about 7,100 subscribers. And I know exactly where to look, because I'm going to go to the second week of, where are we? Is this the right one? Yes, it is. I want to look at that AK47. That also did 7,100 subscribers after 24 hours of sales. This was the second week of Lunar New Year. People weren't really expecting that. People weren't exactly super eager for it either. Come on now, let's be honest. So, yeah, it's very similar. And we now need to go ahead and figure out, or rather, see how much that sold. And I could probably also look at the Lunar Snake Furnace as well. Whilst that did 6,800 subscribers, it could, give us a good indication if things were to slow down with the, the Love Furnace, So anyway, over to here. And what do we see? Those two top-selling skins were the AK and the Furnace. This has just over 17,000 subscribers. This is pushing up to 19,000 subscribers. So lo and behold, that's what I'm going to go with. I believe the... Love Furnace is going to do between 17 to 19,000 subscribers. Now, if I was to do a little bit more of a generalization, I'll probably sit here and say 17 to 20,000 subscribers, but I'm not really expecting the 20,000 subscribers. We shall see. You never know. Maybe it'll pick up some steam. Maybe it'll pick up some momentum. However, that skin right there is not abnormal. Maybe that might slow it down potentially a little bit. But if you don't fully understand abnormals, let me quickly hop back over to here. So every single week when we get brand new Rust skins, we have skins that will become marketable before the Rustore has rotated. And we know exactly when they're going to become marketable, the night before, on a Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. So please consider watching my most recent Ruskin Abnormal Barders video for February 13, 2025. There are chapters. Consider watching the first 5 minutes of this video, then skip ahead to the Barders chapter, which is about 32 minutes in, and you'll get the general gist and how all of this works, and you'll basically understand how to approach abnormals. Plus, every single week, I'm always streaming doing the abnormals, so look in the description right now. You'll see links to all my socials, more specifically my Twitch. On Wednesday nights, usually 9 p.m. London time, I'll be on stream and I'll be figuring out prices to offer for all the skins. But that Valentine's Blaze Furnace, it quite literally will be a case of, on Wednesday night, we're going to have to look at the sales and consider, are we actually going to just jump in and buy into them? Or are we just going to try and see if we could get a good barter down when it rotates, when on Thursday when the new Rustore appears? We shall see. That's obviously a little bit more riskier. So, by all means, if you happen to like the skin, if you truly want it, go ahead, buy it. Treat yourself. Support that skin creator, get them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. All right, cool. So that is basically out of the way. But you know what? With the Rose Petals Rug, not pedals, petals, because it's so incredibly close, I think I'm also going to do 17 to 20,000 subscribers for this as well. So we've already gone through this. It is very transparent, as you can clearly see, and I will have a short video out showcasing that as well. It can tank a decent amount of bullets, so a lot of people potentially will look at it and assume, well, hang on a minute, I could use that for a nice little transparency trick, put it in the window, quickly see if someone's out there. They may shoot me, but I might just be blocked just enough. So regardless, it's also a very nice little comfy decorative thing to have on the floor. Okay, so I can see people appreciating it, but potentially getting 20,000 subscribers maybe, or more realistically, maybe between 17,000 and 19,000 subscribers. I mean, overall, we could look at all the rugs and quickly see, what's the most highest selling rug we've ever had. And yeah, it's the Kelp Rug, 50,000 subscribers. Still very comfortably in the positive, mind you. Green camouflage makes sense. Oh, and I remember Heart Rug. Yep, we've had a Valentine's rug before. That did 38,000 subscribers. Oh, look at it now. A little bit too many, I guess you could say. But we're going to get nowhere near that. At least half, potentially. So, okay. Going down all the way up to here, our brand new rose petal rugs will probably be right in the middle, basically, which is fine. Now, as you can see, quite a lot of the older rugs are in the positive. Some of the more new ones, not so much. And as I just said, a lot of transparency could be considered very useful. But then we have this spiderweb rug, which probably has even more transparency. And that's in the negative pretty badly at the moment. So you can't just fully rely upon that whole idea. So anyway, what I'm going to sit here and say is I could see a nice future ahead of it. But at the very least, that is abnormal. We could do the abnormal barders first, of course. See what the support looks like afterwards, then make the decision whether we want to jump into it or not. I can see a nice, interesting future for it, but I don't think it's going to happen I don't think it's just going to instantly go up in price. I worry for it initially as we approach the Easter time. March and April is usually where we see a bit of a drop-off with the player counts, and it's usually where we see a lot of skins reach a new low point for the year. Of course, we start off the year post-Christmas, so prices are whoop, very nice and high, but it goes down. But then the summer, whoop, back up again. So very nice, very cool, but have to still be a little bit wary, all right? So, all right, that also is looking like it's going to do between 17 to 20,000 subscribers potentially. Now let's hop back over to here and get a good look at that grenade. So, yeah, that has sold a fair bit less, just a bit. And if we're going to sit here and say that's got about 6,900 subscribers, immediately I'll go back and, remind myself of that furnace. But was there anything else that could also be compared to? Cool, we're definitely looking for something now, aren't we? Well, you also have the Lunar Snake bow. Yeah, okay, all right, let's go ahead and do that. So week 2 and week 1 for Lunar New Year. We know the furnace reached about just over 17,000 subscribers. That bow did about 15,000 subscribers. Okay, I'm going to sit here and say I think the bow, not the bow, I think the grenade is going to do between 15 to 18,000 subscribers. I am expecting it to sell a bit less compared to these two, yeah. But I think we're falling for the same trap that we saw with the grenade back at Christmas. Now, number one, this happens to glow in the dark, and I've made a short video showcasing this. I don't know if it's helpful or useful, but when you throw this at night time, you can see exactly where it is. Now, is that a benefit to you, the thrower? Probably. Is there a benefit to the person who is trying to run away from the guy throwing grenades at him? Probably as well, maybe. It can be seen in third person now. That's another thing that should also be addressed. That was fixed with the February update. But what do you mean by the Christmas grenade? So you may recall we had the Red Christmas grenade. It was the first grenade skin in a Rust store after 7 years. And I'm under the assumption that a lot of people simply bought it simply because it was a grenade skin. You know, you look at all these other ones, and they're fairly pricey, pretty expensive. They came out years ago. There's only so many of them in circulation. But then we also had a Twitch drop being given away for free, and it's still being given away for free right now. So if this is going to get fairly close to the sales this did, I am concerned. It's half in price. How often do you even see yourself wanting to skin your grenades? And it just explodes. Gone. So definitely something that we have to be a little bit cautious about, but it's also abnormal. All right. So worst case scenario, you could have just offered $1. You know, metal right now is $1. You could convert that into metal. Oh, well, it's not so much of a problem anymore, is it? So, all right, fair enough. We'll leave it be. But yeah, 15 to 18,000 subscribers. It's getting close to the Christmas grenade. All right, now we have the Heart Collector backpack. I've just put out a short video showcasing this today. It is the only pink backpack we currently have, but we don't know what's happening next week, do we? And I can confirm to you there were other Valentine's themed backpacks that were produced. They are in the workshop right now, and yes, they are pink as well. So whilst this might be super special at the moment, what happens next week? Please take that into consideration. Now let's go ahead and look at the sales. So back over to here. Time to do a nice little comparison. This has done 6,500 subscribers, because of course we've got to tap 500. Okay then, so hopping over to here, what do we see? Anything close to 6,500? We do have the medieval sword. What else do we have? I'm looking. What about over here? I'm looking. You could, no, I'm trying to find something else. I mean, you could look at the bombshell backpack as well. You could do that. You could. I think that's a perfectly fine thing to consider. It's very close, and it's also a backpack as well. All right, fair enough. Let's go ahead and do that. So, back over to here. It was January 16, Hedge. All right, shut up. That did 15,000 subscribers. What was the other thing we just saw a second ago? I just saw it, and I've lost it, and I've gone mad. Oh, it was just there. People watching me right now are very displeased. Look what you've done, Hedge. The medieval sword. I'm sorry, I should have remembered. I should have said it that way, and I would have remembered. But yeah, that did 12,000 subscribers. So, I think we could easily just sit here and say 12. No, I think I'll push it up a bit. You also had to take into consideration the amount of sales it has so far as well, and then try and get a fairly good idea. I think we could probably say between 13 to 16,000 subscribers. Yes, I don't know if it's going to pick up with some more sales as we get closer to the end of its tenure in the Rust store, but it is abnormal as well. So 13 to 16,000 subscribers isn't too much. And then when you look at all the backpacks and then look at them based on subscriber counts, you could see that that will very likely end up probably right just about in the middle. Maybe it might eclipse this, maybe it'll fall just a bit short, but it's basically going to be in the middle. And regardless, backpacks have only recently become skinnable. We've had so many skins already, it's ridiculous, that it very likely will just drop off anyway. Sorry to say, but how many people can you envision wanting to roam around with a pink backpack? Now, you might be considering quite a lot, and fair enough, but no, honestly, if people are going to be try-hard sweats, I don't think they're going to want to wear that. I don't think so. But the people who just want to have fun, it's perfect. All right, then, cool. So, all right, fair enough. A very goofy backpack. But again, next week, if we do have a second week of Valentines, be cautious for the potential of seeing a second pink backpack. All right, you've been warned. Soulmate AK47. Right, so, yeah, $3. We kind of put the warnings out when I first saw it. I was like, another $3 AK? We've been here before. All of last year, so many AKs sold for $3 and $3.49, and you look at them now. I'm sorry, but yeah, it is what it is. So, back over to here. I'm looking, and I can see this did about 5,600 subscribers. And I'm going to go look over to here. Now, okay, that was too high, 5,600. You could look at the year the Snake L96. You could do that. If I could go back a little bit further here as well. I'm looking. I mean, no. All right, what about over here? You probably could look at Starry Dreamstar. Could. Not a bad idea. I think that's going to be a perfectly reasonable options. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right then, so let's go over to here. Let's go ahead and to Lunar New Year. Come on. Right. L96, you reached almost 14,000 subscribers, and I've clicked that for some strange reason because I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. What am I looking for? I am looking for the SAR. 15,000 subscribers. Maybe a straightforward 13 to 15,000 subscribers is a perfectly fine assumption. I think that's fine. You know what? I could just probably say 13 to 15,000 subscribers again. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. It's a bit of a generalization, but I mean, you got to really consider the distance this has ahead of that. But then again, that might probably do 16,000 subscribers, and that might do 14,000 subscribers. Will there also be a lot of people jumping onto it after we've done the abnormal barders? I think I'm actually going to retract it. Stick with 13 to... You know what? I think, 13 to 15,000 subscribers is what I'm going to do. I do expect it to do less compared to that, of course. But, we've had quite a lot of AKs recently. It's not too surprising to see it's not selling that much. And if we do get a second week of Valentines, guess what? Guess how many AKs were submitted? I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one next week. The amount of AKs we have seen in such a short amount of time, it's becoming a problem, isn't it? Yes. So we are 6 weeks into 2025, and we have 10 AK47 skins already. If that doesn't paint a perfect picture of the problem, then I don't know what else to say. There was a lot last year, and already this year we've already got a lot already. And there'll be more Twitch drops. There'll be more AKs and Rustors. There's no escaping it. Cool. Right. Let's now talk about the lovely balloon cart. So I've already talked about how on the commits right now, if you were to keep an eye on all the details that have been mentioned and whatnot, the cooking update is getting a lot of talk, lots of mentions, and fridges have basically been discussed to potentially become a lot more much more of a necessity rather than a roleplay item. Food is going to rot, and you're going to need fridges to keep them fresh. Very straightforward answer there, not too hard to understand. So perfect timer for this, and it's not selling that much. That is the very interesting thing about this. I very likely will be prioritising putting barders down for that because it's abnormal. So next Wednesday I'll probably be focusing you. And, let's go over to here and get a good idea how much that's likely to sell by next week. And, you're probably only looking at about 5,100 subscribers there, which is very low. And then, you can't go here, it's too many there. 5,100. You could look at the Serpent-like Keeper wooden door. Yeah, that's a perfectly fine option. You could also look at the Ultramarine Tier 2, maybe. All right, fair enough. Let's go over and take a look. So, Light Keeper wooden door, first of all. How much did you reach by the end of the week? You did 12,000 subscribers. And then if we could go back a little bit more, we see the Ultramarine Tier 2. You basically did 12 to 13,000 subscribers. Okay. So I think we could just do a straightforward 12 to 14,000 subscribers. I think that's a perfectly fine choice because I honestly wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people probably jump onto that after we do the barders. Let me just put it this way. 12 to 14,000 subscribers isn't that ridiculous. But then again, if you take a look at all the fridges as well, you also might notice they've been bought out. Because with what I've just said, a lot of people are now aware of, and it probably isn't too hard to comprehend that a lot of people are going to want to buy fridge skins. If they're going to be using them a lot more, there's more justification to own skins for it. And if you want to have some nice, colourful, decorative fridges in your base to, make it look a little bit nicer, look no further than lovely balloon cart. Yeah, it's a bit goofy. Yeah, it's a bit silly, but it's bright, it's colourful, it glows, it's got some cool, creative transparency. Is it a bit too goofy? Probably. But if you wanted to troll your teammates in your base, there you go. Perfect. I love you. Right, so, okay. So overall, it's definitely looking very appealing. Now, one thing I didn't do, should have done this, is quickly check, the subscriber counts. I mean, it's not going to be the most highest selling fridge at all. It's going to probably end up being fourth. But then again, when you look and see what we've had, I mean, yeah. But these are holiday fridges, and they're in a positive right now. I cannot express how, positive things are looking for fridges at the moment if they're being bought out and retaining prices at the moment. So, that lovely balloon cart, I think I'm definitely prioritising it, and knowing it's not selling that much compared to these, I think it's probably going to have a very fun future ahead of it. So things are looking very interesting right there for that fridge. Good, right, so we got that nice and, explained. Let's now talk about the No Love Cat. Now, I'm very well aware a lot of people have been talking about how this apparently seems to be some sort of copyrighted design, but apparently there's no issue with it. It was just basically inspirational, something like that. Okay, so I've had a few people knock on my door talking about that. No, it's been approved. It's fine. It's not getting removed from the Rust store. Stop trying to make that happen, right? Shut up. Anyway, it's a fairly straightforward cap. But what we have talked about in the past is that we just don't get that many cap skins whatsoever. And when you look at every single one of them, except these ones, these are evergreen. You get these as drops. You know how you randomly get skins every now and then? Those are the ones you get as a drop. All these ones over here, in the positive, in the positive, in the positive, in the positive. So, yeah, okay. Maybe by default, it'll just retain value, stay in the positive. A very interesting thing to look out for. But how much is it going to sell by next week? Back over to here. We'll do a little comparison. So that's probably got about 5,900 subscribers. No, 4,900, you fool. Sorry. Right, so let's go ahead, do some comparisons. What has around 5,000 subscribers? I mean, I think we're looking at this again. I think it's going to be the exact same amount of sales compared to, the fridge. Very similar. So I think, 12 to 14,000 subscribers is going to be a perfectly considerable amount. Yeah, that definitely looks like it'll line up reasonably with that. And then we also want to take a look at all the caps. And what we want to do is we just want to quickly see, how many will this potentially sell? And okay, that's definitely going to be the top seller. But this is definitely looking set to be the second highest selling cap. But overall, it doesn't really matter too much because we just don't get many of these accepted anymore. Like, it really doesn't matter. So for a fairly straightforward looking design, maybe just because, but I'm going to laugh at this, and you'll laugh at me as well, but primitive white camouflage. I mean, from a distance, I don't think anyone's going to see that symbol. Like, I'm pretty sure that is definitely a case. So, I mean, if that sounds appealing to you, go ahead and buy some if you want. But at the end of the day, if you happen to like the skin, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator. Keep them nice and motivated. Probably want to make another No Love theme skin for Valentine's next year. We'll see. Best of luck to you there, Mr. Michael. You got an idea? But, all right. No Love. I think it's just going to retain value, but probably couldn't hurt for a few purchases. Maybe a good strong barter, perhaps. 12,000 to 14,000 subscribers really isn't that much. I wouldn't expect a ton of these listed on the Steam market. So with that information, consider what you're going to do by next week. Teddy Love wooden door. There was only 2 wooden doors submitted for Valentine's. There were so many sheep doors, so many garage doors, but a wooden door gets accepted. 1 wooden door gets accepted. I don't know. Very strange to me. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about, how much is that likely to sell by next week. I'll be straightforward with you. I don't think it'll be a lot. What makes you say that? I really don't. It looks like it's going to be about 3,900 subscribers. Do we have anything that compares to that? 3,900. Where's the amulet rug? We definitely have it here somewhere. No, that was the week before. Have I gone mad? Oh no, you couldn't see it. Oh yeah, you couldn't see it because it's off screen because there's so many skins and items. Whoopsie. So I'm looking, and I guess you could look at the Lunar Lantern sleeping bag and the Lunar Snake Helix Rapier. So let's go ahead and do that. Right, to a second week of Lunar New Year, please. And what do we see? That ended up reaching 8,700 subscribers. And the sleeping bag basically reached just under 10,000 subscribers. So 8 to 10,000 subscribers, perhaps. All right, fair enough. That ain't much. But yeah, for a wooden door, I don't think it's going to change that much. I really don't. Wooden doors, at the end of the day, how often do you even use them? Whilst you very likely use them at least once during, the development of your base life cycle. But yeah, you don't use them for long, do you? Now, again, you probably play on various different servers and whatnot, and you probably do get a lot out of your wooden doors. But overall, just, take a look at all the wooden doors that came out over the past few years. It's a very straightforward answer. People overall do not care about them, and this is inevitably going to go down below $1. Sorry to say, but yeah, no. Right, then we have the Lovesmith hoodie and pants. I don't fully get the reference. I'm a love machine, I guess. I think that's what it's trying to be. Cool, fair enough. A heartbreaker. I don't know. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the sales. And what do we see? This had basically 3,500 subscribers. We actually can look at the amulet rug. If that had around 3,500, yep, okay, that had 3,400. Let's just go ahead, take a look at the second week, and what do we see? That rug ended up with, in total, 7,500 subscribers. So we'll just say 7,000 to 8,000 subscribers. At the end of the day, it really ain't that much. And much like what you see here with the Dragon's Fury hoodie and pants, which probably was another thing, a nice thing to compare to. Technically speaking, Lunar New Year and Valentine's, well, they're holiday seasons, aren't they? And these skins are now out of season now, aren't they? Ooh, awkward, yes. So consider this. It is expected that the Lovesmith hoodie and pants will be going down in price, exactly like you see here. After just 2 weeks, it's already down by half here, and that's already down by 23%. We're not going to see anything improve until next year's Valentines, where we potentially see a sequel. Lovesmith Tier 3, Tier 2, we shall see. Same thing applies to Dragon's Fury. We need to see a sequel, but that can't happen for another year, can it? And yeah, so that's just usually how it works with all holiday rustors. If there's any clothing and armour, cross your fingers and hope there's a sequel next year that actually gets accepted. Otherwise, those skins very likely will never go back up in price. Alright, yep, so a very straightforward answer. And that is basically everything. Wow, we basically did all of this in about 25 minutes. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, okay, cool. Things are looking pretty interesting. Things are looking pretty nice. Okay, so what is there that we can talk about right about now? So I've already mentioned this, that we are probably expecting a second week of Valentines. Here we are. And, oh, one of the skins got removed. I don't know what happened there, but hey, we'll see. Anyway, there's plenty of skins to choose from. But you should only expect there's just going to be 1 week of Valentines. But with the amount that are there and the choices that are still potentially available, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Now, I can sit here and say regular skins are now being submitted to the workshop. Yes, as you can see, we've got some cool collection continuations already. Do you remember the Fallen Salvage Sword? We now have the Fallen Tier 2 produced by Robstar, and what you see there is a very cool skeleton theme set. I think a lot of people might be appreciating that. Very scary. And then we have the sequel to the Black Ops AK47. A SAR has been produced, and I'm well aware that a Thompson's also being worked on as well. That is definitely looking to be building up to a brand new, interesting, sleek black design weapon collection for 2025. Last year we had both Commando and Black Diamonds. So, alright, cool. Another interesting looking set potentially on the horizon. But where's like the white sets? I'm just saying, we've only ever had like comics. I don't know, Kolotinsky, give us White Ops, but not yet. Finish this first. Snow Ops, Arctic Ops, something cool like that. I know you could pull it off. Right, anyway. They would sell a lot. I know they would. Right, so yeah, keep an eye out. More skins on the way. And of course, on Monday, I'll be taking a look at all the newer skins and I will be showcasing them on my stream. We'll have a nice little preview of that. And we'll be making loads of short videos. Yippee. Also, I just noticed Reflector Thompson there, collection continuation to the Python. Very nice, very cool. Does it have like transparency? Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yep. Okay, a little bit. That's nice. That's cool. Right, so as I said, interesting collection continuations already appearing. And the player count today, it went over 200,000. I was kind of surprised by that, but the overall average player count is slowly starting to drop off. This was expected. This is inevitable. Of course, it's expected to reach a certain low point around March and April. Don't know how low it's going to go, but after that, summertime. And what will the summertime behold? What interesting big fat updates will we have? Well, it's either probably going to be the cooking update or the release of the jungle biome. And with the things we're seeing in the commits, you are basically expecting like a proper farming sort of thing. Like coops are currently being talked about. Chickens, looks like they're going to get updated to be able to lay eggs. You're going to be able to collect eggs. I hope you can throw them at people, that'd be funny. But you're going to need to use them as ingredients to make pie and stuff. So keep an eye on the commits. If you want to be aware of all the interesting things that are currently being worked on, it's all being listed here. Bees. You can farm bees to get honey with, you know, like their hives and the honeycombs. You can sell honey to Bandit Camp. Ooh. So money-making ideas, potentially. I've got all the honey. Cool. Right, so that's an interesting thing to keep up with, and that is basically all the details. Now, if I were to quickly hop over to here, I could quickly inform you of something very interesting. I've put out a video talking about Sandbox. I'm sure many of you are well aware, Face Punch are the people behind Sandbox. This is a spiritual successor to Gmod. Gmod was Source 1 and Sandbox is Source 2. And if you've played Roblox, you know exactly what this is. If you play Gmod, you know exactly what this is. But they have apparently released skins like back in November. I didn't find out until January. So consider giving this video a nice watch. Sandbox has skins now. A new Steam economy indeed, because they are releasing limited time skins. They've done it for Christmas, and they're now doing it for Valentine's as well. So consider giving that a good watch, because maybe you might want to dip your toes into that. I'm sure you've made a lot of profits with, post-Christmas. Consider, looking towards the future, because you never know if that does kick off and work out very, very nicely. I'm just saying that might be some pretty good profits. Just saying. All right, cool. So consider giving that a good watch to understand all of that and how to, get the developer previews so you can actually go into Sandbox itself and see all the stuff. Cool. Let's now talk about the previous skins over the past month. So I guess we could probably go as far back as Lunar New Year, week 1. And how's that all currently holding up? Not well. That's down by 10%, down by 24%, down by 53%, down by 24%. Oh dear. But this was expected. It's obviously its own holiday. It's out season now, and we are steering closer and closer to Easter. Awkward, but it is what it is. Now over to here, as I look at all the skins here, that Lunar Snake Locker, that's actually doing pretty good at the moment. That's actually holding up quite nicely. Only 15 listings, and it's currently close to around $3. That worked out pretty good, can't complain. Now another skin I've also noticed that was doing fairly alright was the sleeping bag, but that genuinely looked like it was someone... Well, how do I say this? It looked as if someone was making a move. It looked like someone was trying to buy out all the stock. I mean, they succeeded. We clearly can see that, but the price has gone back down again. It hasn't dramatically gone all the way down, but it's currently sitting there at $2.50 with only 27 listings. Keep an eye on that. That might have a pretty interesting future ahead of it. But yeah, people have been looking at it. People have been purchasing them. Very nice, very cool. Now, that L96 is only down by 1%. Seems people do appreciate that. That's cool. The AK's gone down by about 60% already. Oh dear. Yeah. And the sword, it's only down by 20%, which I guess is all right. We were questioning, are salvage swords potentially going to have a pretty fun, time ahead of them with the primitive update? They don't really seem to have changed that much. No, they are better. That's the thing, though. They're just not ridiculously high in price. Yes. Okay, cool. Now, what else is there? We also happen to have the primitive update, which is right here. Yes. The barbarian jacket is doing quite all right. The sleeper bag is doing quite all right. The AK holding up quite nicely as well. So, yeah, give it, another couple of weeks or so. Look at these skins again. And, yeah. But the tier 3, it's already down by half. But, yeah, everything is okay at the moment. But give it a couple of weeks, look again, and you might notice some of these skins are starting to go back down in price. Everything is expected to drop off. It's unfortunate, but it is a routine thing that happens every single year. But unfortunately, the Steam market's still broken as well. You can't really see what's actively being bought more compared to everything else. Hopefully they fix it. Remember, it's not a face punch issue. That's a Steam issue. Valve needs to fix it. It's affecting the Counter-Strike Steam pages. It's affecting TS2, Dota. You get it. All right, cool. All right, then. So I think that is a wrap. That's basically everything. Have fun spending your money when everything gets, to a new rock bottom price. Because, that's the smart thing to do. If you're expecting prices to drop off and reach a low point around March and April time, and you still have all that profit made during Christmas and post-Christmas, jump in. Grab some delicious stock. Because if we're expecting everything to kick off ever so nicely in the summer, well, you would expect the prices to improve right about then, wouldn't you? Yeah. So buy when it's low, sell when it's high. Simple as, very simple. Right then, so that's basically everything. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to each and every single one of you. And just have a nice, wonderful weekend.